1,000 residents of Mandera County and her neighbors are a step away from a humanitarian crisis if no effective mitigation efforts are put in place in the coming weeks. Following months of drought, the center is no longer able to hold in the region where residents for decades have grown used to dry spell, with the efforts to curb the ravaging drought by county authorities becoming increasingly overwhelmed. And as David Mudoka now reports, livelihoods continue to be put at risk by the drought crisis amid other imposing dangers such as the year-old locust invasion and banditry.
These are the scenes that welcome you to Takaba South, one of the worst hit regions by drought in the dry Mandera County. Carcasses of camels, widely referred to as ships of the desert due to their endurance even in the harshest of deserts, lie on bare earth. The region has not received even a drop of rain in the past 2 years. More camels, goats and cows continue to drop dead by the hour. Here, every tick of the clock is a matter between life and death, with the menacing dry spell stretching into the horizons and threatening to rip bare the only livelihood known to the Mandera people, pastoralism. With the humanitarian crisis in the offing in Mandera, this borehole in the heart of Takaba is the only hope for survival for tens of thousands of men, women, children and livestock. Some of the livestock, accompanied by herders, have been forced to trek for tens of kilometers to quench their thirst. But some have not been able to make it here, succumbing to dehydration. And among those who have been able to defy the pangs of thirst, some died due to exhaustion. But the sad tale does not end there. Some of the livestock, too thirsty, have often drunk to their death, while others instantly drop dead on the queue.
First thing in the morning, mbuzi ndio taanza kunywa maji. Baada ya mbuzi, ng'ombe ndio taanza. Baada ya ng'ombe, kuanzia saa 7 saa 8 ndio ngamia anaingia. Magari inakaa parking hapa apati maji. Tulisema magari tashota usiku.
The journey back is much harder for the pastoralists and their livestock, who are forced to use terrains invaded by bandits on their way back to their homes or in search for greener pastures.
Locust ilikuwa mingi. Hii ndio inakuwa barabara ya locust. Paka hata sasa inaweza kusema sisi hapana wataalamu, lakini vile tunasemanga mifugo imeanza kuhara. Hii mifugo ya Takaba South yote, ngamia, ng'ombe, mbuzi zinahara, zinaanza kukufa.
It is only a matter of days before thirst strikes again and the cycle begins from the top.
Wananchi na mnyama kama ng'ombe, kama mbuzi, kama ngamia ile na konda na shinda kufika.
Hii borehole moja hatutoshi sisi. Tunaomba survey ifanywe, borehole nyingine iongezewe sisi. Ama in future pia tunaomba mega dam.
With this increase in demand for water in Takaba, the county government of Mandera has made it a routine to bring water closer to residents through bowsers to fill the glaring gap. With the same routine, cows and camels take turns in drinking water from the troughs before residents and herders can quench their thirst. Once they have drunk to their fill, it is time to return home, unsure when the bowsers will return. But some regions in Mandera are not so lucky. The troughs that have been reliable for the past years are no longer receiving water. They are a shadow of their former self, literally gathering the thick brown Mandera dust.
The last 2 seasons of rain, in the October, November 2020 and April, May 2020, failed in the county. So only we never received much. Less than 20%.
At Banisa town, 75 kilometers to the north, residents, some of whom have queued here for hours, are yet to get Mandera's precious commodity. This water tank is the only beacon of hope for tens of thousands of residents who are no longer receiving tap water originating from earth pans in the region. It is not a guarantee that this flow of water will last if a bowser from the county administration does not arrive in a few hours.
Hiyo jergen maji inaingia kidogo tu. Kupata mtu sasa, mtu anaweza kaa hapa mpaka jioni kwa ajili ya hiyo maji, vile watu wako wengi. Tungependa magari zikiletwa ziwekwe tu hapa tupelekewe nje.
Shule inafunga, madarasa inafunga, hoteli inafunga, kila biashara yote anasimama.
We have 320 water tracking centers and of that is 220 are for livestock water tracking. What we are doing to mitigate this drought is we are doing water tracking to all those centers, 320.
It was not always like this. This spot was not as popular as it is now, with residents who used to receive tap water in their compounds. This tank too received a constant supply of the water until earth pans in the region dried up. The pans are now a huge web of cracks, save for this pan that is now a puddle of mud, common with creatures of the air. In anticipation of rains that no one knows when they will pound the earth, the county government is in a race against time to desilt pans that have over the years become prone to siltation.
When it rains, we need to harvest and prepare the reservoirs for the coming rains so that we can harvest enough runoff to be used, stored and used during the dry spell in future.
Plans to drill more boreholes in Mandera are also underway amid the risk of drilling in vain.
We are also drilling contingency boreholes, which we will drill 64 of them. 44 are successful, of that 35 are equipped, and that is able to produce more water in terms of about 9 million liters per day.
For the residents, taking a day at a time is the norm, as they hold on to every ounce of hope that when the sun goes down, the stars will come out. David Mudhoka, TV 47, Mandera County.